Today we are celebrating our dear sister, colleague, Njeri Kinyanjui. Mary, it was a pleasure knowing you in those years. That is 30 years ago. We were young scholars, fresh from the universities, as Kaendi said, with our doctorate. We were ambitious, we were in the right institution, and I must say that we were mentored. And today, briefly, because I'm going to be very brief, I must talk about our great mentor, the late Professor Dorothy McCormick, who worked with Mary and I and mentored us in all ways. Of course, when we were in the field, running up and down across the markets, Kariako, Kikomba, name it, we'd be looking forward to going there and speaking with the garment makers. We didn't have research assistants. We had I think it was a small car, our driver and the two of us, and we'll report back to our mentor, Professor Dorothy McCormick. We were enthusiastic, we were full of energy, we enjoyed the discussions with actual people who were there. Sometimes that experience tells us that at times we lose out on so much, particularly when you're relying on an assistant who might not even understand the depth and the passion with which you're doing your work. So I treasure that. I really treasure that, Mary. And I really, congratulate you for having kept in touch with some of us. And from whichever part of the world you are in, you always kept in touch and observed my work in various parts of the continent. So again, turning back to that research and the mentorship that we got, and Professor held our hands and we listened to her, and she also taught us that we can do non-conventional approach to research. I think that to me was the greatest, because at times we force ourselves into data, models and all that, and then we miss the big picture by not getting to the real cause of the problem. So if you look at our work, which was published in various books and also including the World Development, then I'm telling you, we were so happy with our work and we were so thrilled about our mentor, and we would talk and talk and talk about the garment industry. So if you Google our book we did, I think it was the World Development one was in 1997. That's a long time back. So Mary, thank you so much for being my sister, for mentoring. As we were in the research, doing our work, we also had time to bond and also talk about various experiences. So when you reminded me about not going back to the USA without tasting my cuisine fish that we used to enjoy and thoroughly enjoy, and I taught you even how to eat the head. I think, those are some of the reflections that not only were we talking about, our garment industry and the growth and the barriers and so on, but we were also talking as young scholars, talking as girls, talking as what is your vision? What is your, it enriched our research. It enriched our thinking. So when you look at that piece of work, 30 years is a long time. The work we did with Professor Dorothy and Dr. Njeri Kinyanjui, when I just browsed through after speaking with Mary yesterday, and I said, what? The recommendations are the same. And we would be so proud if some of you as young scholars pick up on where we left and say, what are the issues there? What is the story of the mitumba? What are the barriers to small and medium scale garment makers in Nairobi? What has changed? Are they still growing as we expected? What is not happening? What are the constraints? We read a lot about Kikomba and this and that and tax and the AGOA, and what are the policy issues? And this was 30 years ago, when what we were talking about is still what we are grappling with. So as researchers, as scholars, I really hope and wish Mary all the best. You've contributed a lot to knowledge, as we have seen and we know. And I'm just citing this particular study, which we did with Dorothy, as an example. Mary, I want to wish you well in whatever you're doing. I cherish you as my sister, We shared a lot as we were young. As we are growing older, let's grow old together and keep on the good work you're doing. We wish you good health. We wish you good scholarship as you're continuing in various fields, and also the skills that you've discovered later on in your life. I would like to also say that I wish to be in your team that dances, just to let off the steam and grow old smiling, because age is just but a number, and we want not to say we can account for the livelihood we have spent in this world. Mary, we wish you well. May God bless you.